Well, there's a look at Rafa Hewett and Zane Navratil. Zane having a good time yesterday on social media. Apparently he's not a hat guy, but he's become one in the last 48 hours. So look out for that.
He's converting
He's converting himself. But Rafa Hewett, the lefty, will start on the right side. There's the length of Eric Lange.
0-0-1. Second serve.
Big two-handed backhand. You got two forehands up the middle on the side of Hewett.
0-0-2.
Yeah, nice aggression there by Hewett. I think it's going to be tough to continually go through Eric Lange, though, cross court. We'll see if that pattern continues.
What might be a pattern you expect to see just kind of take shape in the early stages of this match?
Yeah, I think they're going to feel each other out to some degree. I think just kind of play traditional pickleball for the first few points. First round match, they're just kind of getting their own rhythm. But I look for Zane and Rafa Hewett to get some cheap points with some drives and more of a shake and bake early offense style.
Eric Lange covering the middle well.
2-0-2.
That head paddle is quick to cover middle right now.
Yeah, I think Rafa's just going to need to, like I mentioned, work the point maybe a little bit longer before pulling the trigger, just with the counter punching of the opponents here.
Side out. Zero, 3-1.
Playing on the left now.
Yeah, and you saw Rafa Hewett trying to drive that short return and play that more shake and bake up-tempo style. Nice job with the first volley, getting that down by West Burrows there.
0-3-2.
There's a good look from Zane Navratil.
Yeah, nice little step back. It's always more risky to attack the person cross court from you, but he did a nice job of finding that right hip of Eric Lange and kind of jamming him on the forehand volley.
Moving the ball around well, using just about every foot of the court.
Yeah, good job just having that patient aggression. They never really had a clear put away, but they kept working their spots and eventually were able to get the error.
I'm learning there's several different types of aggression. Yesterday it was committed aggression. Now we've got patient aggression. But there's all a place for them here in the game of pickleball.
You know, I may just be inventing different phrases.
No, it is very, they're great. That was to be taken as a compliment.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Wesley Burrows looking for the ball now.
Five, 1-1.
Watch out for your shoulder.
Yeah, and so far with with the early lead of Lange and Burrows, it's just been more. They've been more fundamentally sound. They've more waited to be attacked, and their counter punching has been the difference so far.
Point.
Yeah, that's a ball where I understand what Zane's wanting to do, be aggressive with his forehand there, but he's got to remember that Rafa Hewett's also a lefty, so it's his forehand as well. He may not need to come over that far.
Second serve.
Zane Navratil, product of the University of Wisconsin Whitewater, winning the better end of that dink battle. Wes with a little slippage, but it worked.
Yeah, saying, hey, we can play a little up-tempo ourselves. He's a very explosive athlete. Certainly would be a great singles player, just doesn't seem to enter it very often.
Side out.
Yesterday you got on the court with me and you were giving me some pointers on that backhand slice. Maybe the next time we see one of those dink battles, you can give me and share our audience with some of those pointers. They were fantastic.
Point.
Nice Ernie from Zane Navratil.
Yeah, and both him and Rafa Hewett definitely are explosive athletes. They both move very well.
2-8-1.
Look to see more of this as the match continues.
Oh, Rafa looking to make some noise himself, but that ball's just long.
Yeah, had the space up the line,
2-8-2.
just slightly overcooked that one.
Point.
There's one of those drives you talked about. Earns one.
Yeah, Rafa Hewett's forehand drive has a lot of top spin on it. When he's playing well, really puts the volley under pressure, as we see again.
Wow, just watch how far he drops that paddle head on those drives.
Yeah, it's what allows him to brush up the back of the ball and create that extreme topspin.
Side out.
Yeah, and as we saw another kind of slice-to-slice pattern, I think we're going to continue to see, to your question earlier, Cameron, I think keeping your back straight, making sure that you don't hinge and bend at the waist, but you're doing that bending with your legs and just trying to maintain your paddle, staying on that line the whole way through contact is really what helps you get that penetrating backspin slice dink.
You talked about keeping your paddle level across the whole stroke, also stopping it at about your right hip if you're a right-handed player.
Yeah, I think the tendency a lot of people have with the slice is just having it go too far. So the idea of shortening up the length of your swing will often help limit the distance of your shot.
9-4-2.
9-4-2 now.
Point.
And they're having success not even working to unwind the stack.
Yeah, and a really nice job by Eric Lange there. Known for being more of just a fundamentally sound player, kind of more of a waiting to be attacked, but he used his footwork there to find a forehand that he could do a little more with, and then used his hand speed to eventually win the point.
Game point for Lange and Burrows. Nice defense there. Just too much pressure. Rafa Hewett works the corner.
Yeah, an amazing point by all four players. They're really getting warmed up now and starting to find their groove out here.
Time out.
We started yesterday's action with a 3-game battle.
Time in. 4-10-1.
Rafa Hewett tried to catch that one before it even crossed the plane.
Yeah, he tried to go for an offensive ATP defense, which we've seen some players pull it off, but just unable to time that one.
The Kyle Yates, right?
Exactly. He kind of showed me that one was possible, to be honest with you. And so far, the pattern, what we're seeing from Navratil and Hewett is they've done best getting their offense from the baseline, just on third shot drives. I think when they get to the kitchen line, they're better served working the point a little bit longer.
I think you were already starting to see that out of that timeout, taking a little bit more patience. And actually, that was the first time we've seen Eric Lange speed up.
6-10-2.
Yeah, the time he's been countering.
Yeah, the longer that you work the point, maybe your opponents then pull the trigger in those marginal spots as well. So it can pay dividends. Yeah, probably haven't talked enough about the Rafa Hewett hand speed, especially when he's off the line in that transition zone. Does such a good job of fending off attack after attack. Counterpunches very well out of position.
Side out.
And it's interesting. It looks as if Burrows and Lange are really picking and choosing the spots in terms of unwinding the stack or playing straight up, depending on what.
Yeah, and I wasn't really sure how they would line up. This isn't a team that I've seen play together personally. Don't know if this is their first one or not, but it seems like they're mostly going with straight up here.
Game 11-7.
That was awfully clean from Wesley Burrows.
Yeah.
Right up the gut.
What a shot to end it on. Definitely in the fancy category. Looked like he was going to use a backhand slice, and the last second turned it into a forehand speed up. Well played by Burrows there.
Take another look at this one. It's worth it. Hopefully you got to have some of our fun conversation and commercial break trying to figure out the term for the flip up. Maybe the slippery fish? Not sure. That shot from Wesley Burrows.
It was definitely very slippery. I like it.
Side out.
Nice job by Rafa Hewett. Just putting a little bit more cut on that dink. Just the more
0-0-1.
assertive you are, it can help you dictate from that kitchen line.
0-0-1. Point. 1-0-1.
Yeah, Hewett Navratil looks like a conscious effort to do that shake and bake where Navratil will run up and poach. Had a look at that one. I just think he thought it was going to go long.
Point.
There's a good shot from Rafa Hewett. Perfectly up the line.
2-0-2.
Yeah, I think if they can keep that mentality of trying to be offensive on the very first shot, really sets the tempo for the rest of the point that they're wanting to play.
Talking about tempo being set, looks like Rafa and Zane have a little bit more pep in their step here in game two, even just between points.
Point.
That's no good against Zane Navratil.
Yeah, you see him completely squat down and have to use kind of that hybrid of a little bit of a scorpion action to play that as a forehand volley. Nice anticipation from Zane there.
4-0-2. Point.
Fantastic lead from Zane Navratil. He was right on top of that.
Yeah, and the up-tempo style
5-0-2.
still seems to be working for them. I expect them to do more of the same throughout this match.
I mean, Zane's all the way at the kitchen line before Rafa's even making contact with the ball.
Yeah, that's the classic shake and bake. He's basically committing and saying, I'm going to trust that your drive is good enough to set me up for something that I can volley on our terms. If the drive is a little bit high and the volley's good and it can get down at your feet, you're probably going to lose the point. So it's a high-risk, high-reward play.
It is, but it's also interesting to look at the court positioning of Zane in those moments, because so often I think of the shake and bake and I'm thinking of someone maybe midway or just in front of the midway point through the transition zone. Annalie Waters obviously comes to mind, playing alongside Ben Johns, and her court positioning. Zane is all the way at the kitchen line. Do you think that maybe that's just a nuance to his style of play, or why do you like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you have enough time, Zane's very fast. Sometimes you can't be running when your opponent's hitting, so sometimes you have to stop a little early, but I think he's just fast enough to get all the way up, and that visual presence is really affecting the volley.
It's daunting if you're on the other side.
Absolutely.
Side out.
Another good look there from Hewett, just unable to convert on that particular occasion, but expect more of the same throughout this match from Navratil and Hewett.
0-6-1.
So 6 points on the board, the opposite direction of game one.
Second serve.
Rafa really using his shoulder, twisting that from his hip to his shoulder.
0-6-2. Side out.
So a quick hold.
6-0-1.
That was a lesson in footwork from Zane Navratil on that backhand side to get to the kitchen.
Absolutely. He was everywhere on that point, and a nice patient point where they were able to win one at the kitchen line.
Point.
And there's the poach.
Yeah, it seems like every time they can set their feet on a third, when they're able to drive, it really is problematic for their opponents dealing with the volley.
And another, but this time it's Rafa Hewett. You didn't even think you could drive that ball. That was all the way on the baseline.
Well, these guys are elite singles players. They're used to having to come up with some really difficult drives, and they're just bringing that skill set into their doubles game here. The other reason that shake and bake is so effective is because of the righty-lefty combo.
Yeah,
so it's a lot easier with your forehand in the middle to really cover a lot of court sliding across and poaching.
Side out.
Zane had some, Rafa had some success on that shot not long ago, but they've added a few more points to the board. It's now 9-0 as the ball's back to Lange and Burrows.
Second serve.
Yeah, and with that slower, more traditional tempo of doubles that Lange and Burrows are confident with, it's going to be hard for them to come back with major deficits like this. So I wouldn't mind them being a little bit more aggressive as well, just to try to steal a couple cheap points back.
Well, there's one way to be aggressive. That was an outrageous shot from Eric Lange.
Yeah, the degree of difficulty on that one was very, very high. Great shot by Eric.
192.
Wow.
Side out.
Catching Lange just on the right shoulder.
Yeah, looked like he slid well, was on that one, a little frustrated that he wasn't able to convert.
I just love watching Zane's face right there going, whoo, I just snuck one through. That was one heck of a defense on the first ball.
Yeah, Hewett able to show the body control of stopping on a dime and actually using his opposite right hand to get that one back.
Point.
10th point now on the board.
10-1-2. Point.
And game 2, the opposite direction. Zane Navratil and Rafa Hewett. Zane Navratil and Rafa Hewett. It was all Navratil and Hewett in game number 2. As we get this one started, Kyle McKenzie, you got to give me a heads up as to how they can deal with the shake and bake.
Yeah, right after this point, I'll kind of give my 2 cents here.
Side out.
Okay, so I think, when your opponents are beating you with that drive and crash or shake and bake style every time, you have to take more risk on your return of serve and really hurry to try to get established and hit a good first volley. So even if that means missing a return long once in a while, which is, a no-no in doubles normally, you have to take more risk because it's really going to be decided based on getting to the line and the quality of your first volley.
So good return and good first volley is the equation for success against the shake and bake. Easier said than done.
No, absolutely. It doesn't matter how good of a dinker you are, how good you are with the slow game. If you can't handle that early onslaught of offense, then it doesn't really matter. So they're just going to have to be better there and then take their chances in more kitchen points.
Yeah, Eric Lange with a nice ball.
Yeah, nice job using his reach, but then also if he would have hit that ball harder, it might have sat up a little bit more. So he found that medium pace to still attack it, but keep the ball down. Nice choice.
Zane Navratil take a step off the kitchen line, and more often than not, he's not giving up the kitchen on the other side. Look at the pressure he adds continually.
Yeah, I think when he takes that step back, it's to give his body the spacing to let that ball sit up higher and be able to still stay offensive and attack it. So he took a chance, was able to go at Eric Lange there and get a weak enough volley for his partner to finish the next one off.
0-2-2.
Hewett doing a nice job protecting his body.
Yeah, you see how tough Rafa Hewett is to attack. Looked like he was fooled on one occasion, able to get it back and eventually get back on the offense in the exchange.
Side out.
Using the power against him.
Yeah, Eric Lange did leave that return a little bit short, but great reflexes by Wes Burrows to handle the drive from Hewett there.
2-1-1.
Getting into some more points now are Burrows and Lange.
Yeah, this is the style they want to play. And Hewett and Navratil are very capable at the kitchen line as well. But if you're Burrows and Lange, you just want to think about your best chance where you might feel like you have the advantage. And I feel like for them, it's definitely in those more methodical points at the kitchen line.
Little issue with the middle ball.
3-1-2. Side out.
Ball just not popping up off the ground. Too much spin.
Yeah, nice variety from Hewett there. Known for often going with a two-handed backhand, but
1-3-1.
uses that extra reach by taking the hand off and rolling that one-hander.
Got to be able to do it all. Here's the switch. Eric Lange on the left.
Great read by Lange. Recognized that his partner's dink was aggressive
1-3-2.
enough that that reset dink right up to him would be the likely response, and took advantage.
Missed return. They were going to play straight up again.
2-3-2. Point.
Tough arm angle.
Yeah, just unforced error there by
3-3-2.
Burrows. It was above the net. He has to be aggressive. He knows that. Just wasn't able to convert on that one.
Side out.
So much junk on that ball, and Zane's pointing to it going, there's no way that ball's good.
Yeah, they're having a look at that. They really thought with the spin off of Burrows' paddle that was going to jump up a lot higher, and kind of slid under the Navratil paddle there.
3-3-1.
Wes is looking at it going, no, it's fine. We're just that skillful.
Second
Oftentimes,
serve.
spin is compounding in the game of pickleball.
Yeah, spin is really
3-3-2.
the new wave of pickleball in general. All the top players are really understanding how to add spin to their own game and adjust to the different spins thrown at them.
Speaking of spins, Rafa nearly get with a highlight reel moment. I love it. The crowd is cheering him on like he actually got the ball back. This is why we love pickleball.
He darn near did. That would have been
close.
definitely in the, I think, the Sports Center top 10 on that one.
Side out. Three, 4-1.
First serve now on the side out for Navratil and Hewett.
Second serve.
Yeah, like the choice by Hewett there. I think in hindsight, he was still just moving a little bit too much on the second one. Had he planted his feet initially, I think he still could have stayed aggressive there.
Side out.
Eric Lange playing on the right still sits pretty heavy in the middle.
Yeah, he was kind of in control at that point. I think kind of an
4-3-1.
unspoken thing among high-level players is if your partner is kind of in rhythm, dictating the point, you'll kind of give them a little bit more space to kind of finish the point that they're constructing.
Second serve.
Less hesitation that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this
4-3-2.
level, both players are very gifted. You just want to make sure that you or your partner is confident
Side out.
that it's your ball and your shot.
Three, 4-1. Point.
Lange and Burrows are starting to have some errors
4-4-1.
mount up as the score is now tied 4 apiece.
Nice
Second
finish
serve.
there by Lange. But, some of those return errors could be, a product of the pressure that they're feeling to hit a good return, get in and hit a good first
4-4-2.
volley. So they might just be rushing it a little bit because the tempo of Navratil and Hewett is bothering them.
Point.
Nice job by Navratil sliding over, poaching and cutting off the angle on that one.
That's one way to cover middle. Forehand through.
Yeah, West Burrows definitely has a little spring to his step on that one. Saw the pop-up and quickly jumped and put that away. Well played.
Point.
It's interesting to watch them switch continuously, giving different looks to the side of Navratil and Hewett.
Yeah, and throw your opponents out of their rhythm and make it hard to come up with a consistent game plan.
Point.
And right now it's working. Look at Eric Lange. He is lit up right now. A first round match that's going the distance. Eric Lange, Wesley Burrows, Zane Navratil, and Rafa Hewett. All of game two was the shake and bake, the intensity from the third shot drive of Zane Navratil and Rafa Hewett. But it seems like it's been a little bit of a different story here in game three.
Yeah, it seems like they came out just trying to play more traditional, patient pickleball, and you know some of that could be credit to the better returning from Burrows and Lange, but I'd like to see them really rev up that tempo that worked for them so well in game two. But we'll see what happens here.
Point.
Pulling that just too far cross court.
7-5-1. Second serve.
Makes the adjustment.
Yeah, nice bounce back from Navratil after the unforced error. See if they can get the side out here. Still 2-point game.
7-5-2. Side out.
There's a good look for Zane Navratil.
Yeah, he doesn't need a lot of space either. Really good at creating offense, leaning in with that one-handed flip there. Nice play.
Point.
Earns one back here. Let's see if they look to that shake and bake.
6-7-1.
6-7.
Second serve.
Finds the top of the net instead.
6-7-2. Point.
Ball just long. So that question two is, where do you send the return? Would you rather have to deal with the third shot drive of Zane Navratil or that of Rafa Hewett?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think they both have amazing drives. In my opinion, I think Hewett is a little more comfortable in that mid-court chaos area. So I would maybe go to Hewett to deal with Zane's volleys rather than the Hewett volleys, but both very capable.
7 apiece now. Eric Lange defends three, but can't find the fourth.
Yeah, full strength on that last one from Navratil right at the Lange feet. Pretty tough to stay in the point on the last one.
7-7-2. Point.
Rafa can't believe it.
Yeah, you know, a change he's made in his game in the last years, he is starting to be more assertive and hitting
8-7-2.
more aggressive dinks. I like the play there, just unfortunately unable to convert for him there.
Side out.
Turning to let that one go.
Yeah, good idea from Burrows taking a swing in transition there, but
7-8-1.
tough to go back cross court. Very easy to pull that ball wide.
Rafa couldn't get his feet quite out of the way. Defended the earning well, but
7-8-2.
Yeah, he extended it, but just a great read by Burrows there to get the earning.
Side out.
another good read by Burrows, but it's more so leaving the ball go long.
And that's where people don't realize,
8-7-1.
you know, yes, these guys have really fast reflexes, but they're able to read the story that's in front of them. And Burrows recognized where Hewett was attacking that from, and he was already programmed to let that go. If it happens to go in, happens to go in.
A nice shot by Hewett there.
8-7-2.
Is creating from the right.
And he finishes it off on one leg. Looked like a little flamingo to finish that one. Hold that pose, Rafa.
There's the shape causing issues.
Yeah, shape of the drive, but also just the presence of Navratil really changes the available area for a safe volley.
That ball popped well into the air. Some heads-up plays over here. If you're in the stands, you better watch out.
Yeah, you know, Rafa Hewett's going to hit this ball as hard as he possibly can, able to get that one through.
9-8 now for the 16 seed. Clean winner for Navratil.
Yeah, held that one really, really well to the last second. It was clear Lange didn't know where that ball was going. Just kind of wrong-footed him a little bit there. Great shot.
Well, they do have a match point. Zane will serve. You weren't wrong. Good juju on their side. Match goes to Navratil and Hewett.
Yeah, again, that righty-lefty combo with their ability to drive and poach. They're a very dangerous team in a lot of areas, but especially that shake and bake was just a little bit too much for Lange and Burrows in this match.
Rafa Hewett doing the classic round 'em up call at the end of this one.
Yeah, I think he kind of made that move famous at Major League Pickleball, and he's drawn on it here earlier.
Get him up, round him up, why not? Rafa Hewett and Zane Navratil get their first round win. That guy is up next. Jay DeVilliers will be taking the court.